Do I have to qualify myself before I talk about this movie? Do I have to prove that I'm not some Marvel fanboy who's just shitting on DC because fuck DC? No. No, I do not. I posted on Twitter that I had intentions of talking about Suicide Squad provided the movie gave me anything to talk about. I figured that with all the controversy surrounding its aggregate score on Rotten Tomatoes, that I would be able to address that and speak to its quality in one direction or the other, because it seemed as though this was going to be a movie that you would either love or hate and there would be no middle ground. Isn't it amazing the world that we live in? The two most controversial talking point movies of the summer are a Suicide Squad movie and a Ghostbusters reboot. And both of them are significant in that neither one is worth wasting any time or energy on at all. The thing is, when talking about both movies, they are moderately funny in parts, bizarrely terrible in other parts, and overall completely forgettable. In fact, if I didn't start writing this review the minute I got home from seeing Suicide Squad, I wouldn't have written a review because I would have forgotten everything that happened. You see, Suicide Squad is an unfortunate byproduct of its time. The reshoots were public knowledge, and there's a hint of desperation after Martha of Steel 2, Batman vs. Male Pattern Baldness, was released earlier this year and was absolutely lampooned by me. The film seems to be in direct competition with Guardians of the Galaxy. Take a ragtag group of misfits, put them together, and through the events of the film and charismatic performances, we as the audience will grow to like them. You see, that's an admirable goal and one that should have been easily attained, but the way they went about it was rather quizzical, because they didn't do any of what I just said. Instead, they decided to just put music over scenes where it didn't belong in a vain attempt to be the awesome mix. So there are parts of the film where you would assume there would be score music, but instead they'll play something like Fortunate Son or Sympathy for the Devil. If I'm being 100% honest, this movie should have been Deadshot, featuring Harley Quinn, with cameo appearances by Killer Croc, Diablo, and Captain Boomerang. With all these characters, the movie decides to only focus on a couple, namely Deadshot, Quinn, and Diablo. Deadshot was pretty good because Will Smith plays a damn good Will Smith, and I liked what they did with him. Also, I really liked Diablo's character arc because he was the only one who had a character arc, and I really appreciate when those appear. Jai Courtney's also the best he's ever been in anything he's ever been in, which is saying something because I thought I was gonna hate Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Joel Kinnaman, who plays Flag. Now, Joel Kinnaman's way of speaking really bothers me. I couldn't even tell you if he's a good actor or not, because the way he talks just really puts me off for some reason that I can't describe. It really bugged me when he was in The Killing, it bugged me when he was RoboCop, he does it again here, and it still bothers me. Like, his line delivery is so stilted that it makes him sound like a robot, which ironically would have made him a perfect choice for RoboCop, but that movie sucked, so yeah, take that as you will. Then you have Harley Quinn, who is completely insufferable. She has all of the worst lines in the movie, and it's a real shame because Margot Robbie looks like she's having a goddamn blast in the role. Yes, Mr. 10 minutes of screen time himself. What can you say about Jared Leto as the Joker? Well, he's certainly over the top, as you would anticipate the Joker would be, but my initial reaction to him in this movie was, maybe Jared Leto should stick to singing songs, because Joker is not his forte. It's just, he lacks any sort of presence, outside of looking like a complete jackass. You see, I personally prefer the Joker to have some sort of menace to him, and this Joker doesn't have that at all. At the end of the day, I'm disappointed. I was really looking forward to this movie, and even with all the stories that came out surrounding the reshoots and the weird stuff Jared Leto was doing, all of that, I was still looking forward to it because I'm the type of person, I like to forge my own opinions on movies, so I tend to ignore aggregate review scores. Do I think this movie is a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes bad? No. No, I do not. I think it's probably more fitting at about a 45 or a 50 because, as I said, it is average. I'd like to think that DC could right the ship with movies like Aquaman, the Justice League, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, and all the other stuff that they say they have planned, but does anybody really trust them anymore to do that? I guess time will tell.